let's look at this. Let's look at this. Oh. Oh, I would like to read that. It's quite difficult. Steam's last stand, the Wadden. The Wadden was the last steam water pumping engine in active service in the Yuk before its retirement on 23rd of June 1983. Built in Yuk in 1910. This is the older of a pair that was originally in use at Wadden Plumbing Station in Crowydon. Restoration of the Wadden was carried out by a team of volunteers, finally completed in September 1990, although it was painted grey when it arrived. Traces of the original brown colour were found during restoration, so it's now displayed in its original condition. Oh, wow. I really can't. It's very difficult to read, I must say. I don't know whether that's my glasses. Oh, we've got a cutaway. Can we make that do? Yes, we can. Oh, what a thing of beauty. I hope you can understand why I love the steam engine so much now. Imagine if you could hear this. We can't hear this. I can't hear this. I don't know why. Maybe it just doesn't make noise in this, but this would be making a series of truly fantastic mechanical sounds. And then the sound of gas being stored and released, and hearing the creak. It's a wonder. It's a wonder. Here's that that thing I said before. Except you can see the joint now. You can see the joint. Wonderful. Now those will be oil droppers or drippers. Of course, injection. Not really a thing at the point when the steam engine was first introduced. So oil and lubricatory liquids would be used via gravity. Would be gravity fed, is what I'm saying. Now, I'd say fuel injection, but fuel injection is different because fuel isn't being injected here. The fuel is actually, well, we can't see any fuel here. Fuel is the coal or the oil, or really, it's coal or oil, or the big fuels for the steam engine. I'm not reading that out. I can't go there. Okay. Now this is one. This is fascinating. Okay, so we've talked about the translation of horizontal lateral motion into rotational motion, which you can see there. What this is transferring a horizontal lateral force to a vertical horizontal force. In fact, two. Probably for balancing reasons, or I can't see what's down there, but it's probably something that's the mirror of that. Can we look down there? No. No, we can't. This is perhaps the best thing I've ever... I don't know. This is possibly the best thing my assistant has ever shown me. Oh, yes. There you go. Anyway, I could spend so long just looking at one of these, but, well... And where am I in the real world? There, okay. The beginning of the modern world, the Eastern and the Amos. Oh, this is, that. You see that large bar? That's another one of those, in principle. But, much wider. The beginning of the modern world, the Eastern and the Amos rotative beam engines such as this provided power through a turning wheel and played an important part in the Industrial Revolution. Many of the necessities and luxuries we enjoy today can trace their roots back to when engines such as this one became common. What is happening to my head? These engines were ideal for waterworks use and remained popular for over a century. And even though I don't like what that's doing to my head. Okay, right. And probably even though other industries had moved on to newer designs. This one was built in 1863 for Clift on Vial Waterworks near Northampton. It arrived here in pieces after being kept in storage for many years. It was reassembled and restored by staff and volunteers in 1977 to 1978. Wonderful. I really can't. Oh, I can't look that way. But perhaps. Oh, that's. I would love to turn this on, but I can't. I'm afraid I physically can't move my hands. I'll ask my assistant whether he can do something about that. Oh, yeah! Wonderful. There we. Oh dear. Oh no. Hang on. This is going to take some more finagling. Assistant. Okay, right. Right now. So this is fast. Now you've seen the triple expansion, which you may recognise, and if you're someone who's familiar with the engines inside an automobile, you would recognise that as an unconventional. I'll admit, an unconventional, but albeit inline engine. So well, I'm not going to get into the internal combustion right now, but nevertheless, that's what modern people would say. Yes, in a row, I can understand that. This, instead of using the crankshaft with a series of pistons in a line, and the crankshaft can take the eccentric motions and transfer them into one line of force, into then a drive shaft or a propeller gearbox, whatever that may be. What we have here is we have pistons over here, which is moving this beam, which is why it would be called a beam engine. Now the beam is in some way. Oh, you can see the catheter spinning. Is in some way the same thing as we see over there. It's transferring movement from a vertical to another plane. Now what it's doing here is transferring it vertically. Instead of transferring horizontal to vertical, it's transferring vertical to eccentric rotational. So this is the same flywheel, and we've got another eccentric. So we've got a very elliptical, well, not elliptical, very eccentric movement on the outside. And the inside, you can see there is a smaller, not elliptical, eccentric movement there. Now this is fascinating because it's on a beam, so if, the furthest point of the beam has to move much further than a more central point. You have to balance the fact that we've got these two cylinders. Now they've got to do a different amount of pushing because they're all connected to the same beam, but they're at different points of the beam. So this furthest one here has to have more reach than the one slightly inboard. Now how do we solve that? Now, this is what we have these linkages for. You can see that? You can see that working. There's a joy now. Oh-ho-ho! Oh-ho-ho! Ah, now what we're seeing here is a governor being used to regulate release of steam and or braking system. As the governor gets fast enough, you can then use it to actuate something using the force you're applying through the pistons through this to regulate itself. Ah, it's a beauty. It's a beauty, and there's plenty of gubbins all down there as well, which I'd love to show you, but I don't think I can. Oh, rich man's water. The Dancer's End. The Dancer's End engine is unusual in this. One note. All of this absolutely fabulous. Could do with some sound. One note. See there now we've got a possessive apostrophe here. That's fine. And then we have apostrophes, which would be better used. Well, they're being used as speech marks, but I would use the two dashes to indicate they're speech marks as opposed to the apostrophe. The possessive apostrophe of man's there. The Dancer's End engine is unusual in this collection. It was once used domestically on the private estate of Lord Rothschild at Dancer's End near... I don't accept that's a real word. I can't tell whether that says tiring. I'm sorry, Alison, but it's difficult to have the Vivian on and glasses. Tring in Hertfordshire, pumping water to the estate from a well. Now, these would have been fantastically expensive. No wonder it's rich man's water. See, these would be owned and operated either by the government or waterworks, which either way have money pulled from various resources. Just to have a family or a person to own a steam engine at this point. Exceptionally expensive. Engines of this type were commonly found in the mills of Lancashire. No, that would have required two H's. Hang on. Lancashire. And Yorkshire, and not often used for water pumping purposes. This engine was built in Bury in 1867 by James Kay. It was donated to this museum from the Thames, that's one I know, Water Authority, Chiltern Division, where it had been kept on standby until the 1930s. Found to be in good condition. The Dancer's End engine was reassembled here in 1978, 1979. Where am my head going? Right, I can't read all of this. I'm sorry. Do it. Oh. Yes. What that I wouldn't give to hear this start to go. Now, in a modern world, we probably don't have, in this museum, we probably don't have the large boilers necessary to generate the steam. So these are probably not being driven by steam. What they're being driven by is an electric motor. Quite a large one. Well, a series of them. Not one motor for each. They've probably got a motor for each. Possibly multiple. And they will get the flywheel going, and once that's going, it requires a comparatively minimal power draw to keep it going. It's getting it going. It's these large masses, large flywheels. It's fascinating. That's why. So we don't have to have a boiler and stokers going, which I will accept as something unnecessary for people. Oh, now this is fascinating. This is wonderful. Okay, so you can see that we have several levers, and they are being actuated at different points, at different times. which is then being transferred over here. Now, that's fascinating. Now, how do you do this? Because, of course, this has no digital technology, which is controlling timing. So how do you do that? You control... Can I look this way? No. Here we go. Yes. There we go. Now, the timing is being driven by the flywheel, but the flywheel's going at a constant speed. So how are they being driven at different speeds? You are using different eccentricities. You see, this is a very large, well, compared to that, it's a small eccentricity. But this is a comparatively large eccentricity, which has a... Well, I'm not going to... This is relative. That's going faster. Well, it's the same RPM, but the further away from the centre, the faster it has to go. Let's not get into that. But the further out the eccentricity is, you can have different timings. So you can have the same eccentricity, but offset as these are, which gives you different timings, but all the same regular pace. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. You can see as a pulley and yeah, you see that? I can't see that pulley moving. But I'll forgive them for that. Right, now we've looked at the engines that we have here. Now, what could be over here? Bolton and what? Oh, what? Engine house, railway and diesel. How do we go there? Do we go here? What is up here? Oh, we have a view. We have a view. Oh. Wonderful. Oh, it's exceptional. It's really exceptionally blurry for me. I'm gonna ask my assistant if we can do anything about that. Oh no. Terrible news. Oh. Now something tells me that's not right. Good news and bad news. We're back. Bad news. Everything looks the same. This time we're not going to follow the arrow. Like. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another thing. Using water to pump water. Now let me look at this. This looks like a large water wheel with water coming up there and then being spilled out into troughs, internal troughs, which weight the wheel on one side, causing it to be heavier on one side than the other, which causes it to turn until that water is falls out, either at the side or at the bottom, depending of the shape of the troughs. At which point more water is put into other troughs, and well, you probably understand how a water wheel works. Let's read if we can. Is this going to get easier to read if I look at it more? No. Okay, we'll make do. This water wheel originally pumped water... Oh, it's got better. It's got easier to read. This water wheel originally pumped water to the village of Maiden, that's a word, Bradley, in Wilkshire, which sat at the top of... No, that's made up. Map it on hill. The wheel used the power of flowing river to drive the pump, which in turn moved water from a spring to the village at the top of the hill. This wheel was built for the Duke of... Some. I can read the Duke of Some. Arset. To serve his estate in 1902 and was one of the last water wheels ever built to pump water in this country. London was the home of one of the world's first water wheel pumping systems, which was installed under London Bridge in 1582. Wow. And that's too small for me to read. But let's see if we can't. I'd like to see the water. I would like to see the water. Can we see the water? Can't see the water. Oh well. This is fascinating. So what we have here, we've read differently. So if this were in a river, this would presumably down here would be the water line, which would push the troughs. So you can still use the same water wheel. Push the troughs, give it a motion at the bottom instead of introducing water at the top. I imagine that's a pump to move water at the top. It's very difficult to see. Here we see some gearing. So this is a very, very large wheel, which is then being moved into a still quite large but smaller spoked gear, which has effectively increased its speed. It hasn't changed its RPM, but it has effectively changed its speed because, of course, something at the edge of the radius of a circle has to move faster than something on the inside of the radius of a circle. And this now, this is being geared down. Or unless it was going the other way, in which it would be geared up. You can gear things up or down. It's all dependent on what you want to do with the power and how much torque you need to move something. So what we're doing here is we are sacrificing. Oh no, this is gearing up. It's gearing up. We're sacrificing torque for speed. Yes, I do apologise. I said that was gearing down. That was wrong. This is gearing up. So we have a larger gear going into a smaller gear. Now the smaller gear is going at a faster RPM, which is decreasing torque but increasing speed. So we can see these move, and these are driving the pumps, or these are the pumps. You can think of these pumps working in the same way that the steam injection system in a steam engine works, but it's mechanically, conceptually similar, but it's sort of in reverse, where instead of injecting steam, what we're doing is so to pump something, we're either pushing something, or as we're pulling that out, we can pull and use negative pressure. Well, it's not negative pressure, but a comparatively lower pressure than the water, which then the water rushes to fill the expanding space to try and equalise pressure, at which point you can close that off and use this movement to pump it somewhere else. I assume water should be coming out of there to show that off. Can't quite see that at the moment, though. We go... Oh, door! Oh, hallway. It's almost entirely unreadable. Oh! Lovely. What be over here? Whoa! Something very loud! Something very loud is here. Oh! Are we under one of the engines? Oh! God blimey! Look at the size of that beam! Oh my goodness, I need another... If I turn this way, can I read that? No. Oh no! If I look that way, my eyes stop working. Learn and be safe. That's good. That's good advice. But I'm apparently tall, so yeah. Where are we? Oh. Wow, and there's another beam. Oh. Now this is proper large. Yeah, I don't think I can turn my head this way without, can I turn my head this way? Oh, I can turn my head this way, and I'm not yet blanking out. This is, I mean, we've got a limited view here, but this appears to be another beam engine, so I'm not going to describe how a beam engine works again. Which way am I? Right. Oh, wow. Wow, to feel like you're so close to this. Wow. Oh, that's okay. I can look at some bits and some bits I can't. I wonder. Okay, I can't look that way. Right, hang on. We'll adjust to figure this out. Oh. This is a thing of beauty. But it's also exceptionally loud for me. Again, I'm told that'll be fixed for you, but for me, exceptionally loud. Harvey and hail! Cornwall! A wall made of corn. 1869! Wow. London is a bleak and desolate place from here. I'm gonna see if I can stop being so assailed by loud noises. Hang on. I'll come back to those stairs that thwarted us earlier. Yeah, well, how about we go up? Don't mind if I do. Huh? Yeah. Wow, a roof. An empty room, wow. And a roof. Another empty room. And something to give you vertigo if you're so inclined. And okay, that may be it. Thank you so much for sticking with me, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologise if there was just a rambling on about steam engines, and thank you so much for sticking with me. I didn't even mention how triple expansions work and why they're a triple expansion instead of just a one cylinder. That's really big. You know what? We'll move on. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. And I will, I'll see, I hope one day my assistant can find me something nearly as fascinating as this. Thank you so much, and you have to imagine I'm waving.